Hi, thanks for joining. Today I'm at one of Vancouver's better kept secrets. This is the Bill Reid Gallery of Northwest Coast Art. I'm super excited to finally make it to the gallery since Bill is one of Canada's most iconic artists. Let's go explore. Bill Reid is a renowned Canadian artist who was regarded as one of the most significant Northwest Coast artists of the late 20th century. Born in Victoria, British Columbia, Bill was raised without knowledge of his Haida ancestry due to oppressive measures of the Indian Act. But in his early 20s, he developed a keen interest in Haida art after spending time with his grandfather, a traditional Haida silversmith. Reid studied jewelry making at the Ryerson Institute of Technology in Toronto before returning to Vancouver in 1951 and establishing his own studio on Granville Island. Reid began practicing his art crafting jewelry before graduating to larger sculptures made out of bronze, red cedar, and yellow cedar. His designs usually portrayed figures of animals and scenes from Haida mythology expressed in a contemporary form. Some of his most well-known pieces came in the form of 3 large sculptures. The Spirit of Haida Gwaii depicts a canoe filled with human and animal figures. One casting of this sculpture is displayed outside of the Canadian Embassy in Washington, D.C., and a second casting, known as the Jade Canoe, is showcased in the main terminal at Vancouver's International Airport. The Raven in the First Men is displayed at Vancouver's Museum of Anthropology. This piece, made from yellow cedar, depicts the creation myth of the Haida people, with the raven coaxing the first peoples to emerge from a clamshell. Another sculpture, Chief of the Undersea World, is installed out front of Vancouver's aquarium. This 5.5-meter tall bronze sculpture depicts the killer whale, who the Haida believed was the chief of the world beneath the waves, governing the mystical cycle of the salmon and the keeper of all the ocean's living treasure. These works are very familiar to Canadians as they were featured on $20 bills produced between 2004 and 2012. The Bill Reid Gallery was established to celebrate this Haida master artist and the diverse cultures living in the Northwest Coast. The gallery contains a collection of art and archives related to Bill Reid, including his gold and silver jewelry, printmaking, and several of his monumental sculptures. Although the largest version of the Raven in the First Men is probably the most famous, the gallery features other versions of the design sculpted in other mediums. Sitting at approximately 2 feet tall, this version is sculpted entirely from onyx. This version was created in 1986, 6 years after the larger yellow cedar version was unveiled. However, the gallery also has a 22-karat gold statue of the design, which was created in 1990 as an artist's proof of his larger masterpiece. Visitors can also learn about the process that went into creating the larger statue, which took 2 years to create, with Reid supervising a team of Haida artists before it was finally unveiled and dedicated by Prince Charles, Prince of Wales, on April 1, 1980. Here too, we also see a smaller version of his famous killer whale design. This version of the statue is made of bronze and has a jade-colored patina. It belonged in Reid's personal collection. Only 9 of these special editions were created, and this is the only one that has a waved base. Like many of his pieces, Reid created different versions in different sizes as part of his creative process. In this case, the sculpture Chief of the Undersea World started as a small boxwood sculpture that acted as inspiration for its later incarnations. One of the things I find interesting about Bill is just how many different mediums that he was able to work in effectively. The gallery also has a significant collection of Bill's jewelry creations. This sterling silver necklace has a pendant shaped like the head of a grizzly bear, with abalone shell inlaid over the eyes. And this remarkable piece is known as the Milky Way necklace. Claimed by Bill to be his favorite creation, the necklace is made out of 18-karat and 22-karat yellow gold as well as white gold, with an inlaid collection of 118 diamonds. It took Bill 10 years to design and create this necklace, which he gifted to his wife Martine. Although some of the early inspiration for the design came from this modernist light fixture, created by Bill around 1960 to hang in the Union Club of British Columbia in Victoria. The gallery also houses several personal items that belong to Bill and his family. This print of the Haida wolf Goji was dedicated by Bill to his wife Martine for Christmas of 1979. And this Thunderbird and killer whale bedspread was painted by Bill for use in his own home. In his later years, Bill was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, but that didn't stop his creative energy. Bill had often loved to doodle, but as the disease progressed, he found sketching to be more difficult. Instead, he started to doodle in wire, using a pair of pliers to create whimsical three-dimensional shapes like this Kelvelti frog. Sadly, Bill passed away in 1998 at the age of 78, but he left behind a legacy of awe-inspiring creations that helped introduce Haida art and culture into the mainstream both within Canada and worldwide. The Bill Reid Gallery continues this tradition and celebrates Northwest Coast artists by showcasing pieces like its centerpiece, the Celebration of Bill Reid Totem Pole. Created by James Hart, this pole features a double-finned sea wolf, a wolf, a dogfish, a thunderbird, a copper wolf, and a raven on top. The gallery also features other inspiring pieces like this red cedar mask by Northwest Coast artist Phil Gray, which was created in 2008 for the Bill Reid Gallery. And thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about Bill Reid and his art. Remember to keep exploring, and until next time, it's time to exit through the gift shop.